even start, let me just give a shout out to all those people who subscribed in the last couple of weeks. I didn't actually expect to make over 500 subscriptions this season. So again, let me just put out my sincerest gratitude to everybody who subscribed. Well, we're here to talk about football, right? And particularly the game against Brighton last night. Which let's get this quickly out of the way. We're champions of England, and I honestly couldn't care how the team performs. Look, I would like us to win. Look, I always like Liverpool to win. It doesn't matter who we play or if we're playing a pre-season or friendly, whatever. I always like to see Liverpool play. But I can understand, especially after the scenes from last week, Slot being in fucking Ibiza, and the boys being down in Dubai. I believe they were doing a farewell party for Trent. So good on them, you know. I can understand, you know, a lot of these guys play a lot of football, and so to kind of have the opportunity to just kind of, you know, let loose and just be free. You already won the league, so what does it matter? But look, it is still a game of football. I understand. And so you're still trying to kind of listen, and you're still trying to understand how your team is going to work, right? And I didn't. I mean, apart from the fans singing and celebrating a whole fucking match through, even when the score was 3-2, they were just celebrating and going crazy. I mean, I gotta give it up for these guys because they made me feel like, okay, we lost, but let's not forget why we are here. Let's never forget why we are here. And this party is gonna last, and it lasted from last April already, about like fucking 3 weeks ago. So these guys, even when we were losing against Chelsea, they were celebrating. Yesterday we lost against Brighton. They were celebrating, and I think let's be real. The guys are already on the beach. They're already on the beach. So what does it matter? What does it matter? So I think it's very difficult to do a match review, which is what I wanted to do about yesterday's game, because I thought that we played really well. I thought we had a really good first half. I thought that there were some really encouraging signs. Who got on the score sheet? Yeah, Elliot. Great work there by Conor Bradley to connect with Elliot. Elliot with the tap in, a little bit of a messy thing. And then, of course, Soboslai gets the second one for us, which I honestly thought he was going to cross the ball, but so did the Brighton keeper as well, apparently. But he took a shot and it went in. So brilliant goal, all smiles, all happy. But even throughout that match, it really felt like we were in second gear. It didn't really feel like there was any kind of urgency. I think the big talking points really for me throughout the match was really like, okay, is Mo gonna get his record? Who's gonna get on the score sheet? I actually just wanted to see again how the fringe players would perform, and it was a different team, and you know, against Chelsea, I didn't think that these guys painted themselves in glory. I thought that yesterday's game against Brighton was a little bit better. But for the most part, I can completely understand why Slot played the team, why Slot didn't really rotate, because you can see the drop in quality over there. Now, it's very difficult because it's not a competitive match, but even still, I still would expect us to win our 50-50 challenges. I still would expect us to complete our passes. I still would expect us to press. We did none of that. We did none of that. And there was a point in the game yesterday, I think, where fair play to Brighton. The way they were able to press us in our passing lane. So they were not necessarily pressing us when we were on the ball, but when we were looking for that out ball. And if you don't have Virgil van Dijk, which he wasn't in the team, then you're going to struggle getting out of the backline. And there was a part of me that was just like going like, fuck man, like just kick the ball, Alisson. Just kick the ball. Don't try and pass it out the back with Konate, Bambi on ice, and Gerald Kwanzaa at the back. That's a recipe for disaster. You know what I mean? But I thought Gerald did okay. Again, he always just seems... It it just seems like he can never sense where the danger's going to be. And, you know, for all the attributes that he's really got some great attributes. He's got speed, he's got height, he's got strength and all of that. But I think him just reading the game, I think he's always like a millisecond behind of what is kind of going on around the field. And that's just not because of yesterday's game or the context of yesterday's game. I feel that that's been him pretty much all his Liverpool career. So I really hope that he would make that step up. It was good to see Joe Gomez on the bench. I think it was really, really great. I just want to kind of mention that. That was always cool. But of course, you know, there was no Virgil, there was no Robbo, and so we had Tsimikas and Conor Bradley. And I thought Conor did a good job, fairly good job. I think Tsimikas was again his old Tsimikas cells, just all over the place. Again, just wildly inconsistent. Like moments where he reads the game well and he intercepts a pass, and then he does stupid shit, like get turned or loses track of the flight of the ball or turns his back, or a number of other different things that you and we both know that's the reason why he hasn't really been getting playing time. There's a massive well, for them it's a big jump up, and I think the gulf is maybe a bit too big for them, but it was okay. I thought that Chiesa was all right in that first half, but he got 60 minutes, and to be honest with you, like, I don't know. I just don't think it's gonna work out for Chiesa. He really seems a bit lost in that midfield over there, or at least where they're playing him. But like I said, it's one of those kind of games that it doesn't do anybody any favors. Number one, the players are not really there. The players are already on the beach. Number two, it's not really a game where there's anything at stake. So I can't really judge them. But you guys know all of this stuff already, man. Like, I don't know. I think I'm like you guys. I'm just looking forward to Sunday. And lifting the trophy against Crystal Palace, which someone suggested that Crystal Palace should bring their trophy. Nah, leave that. They won an FA Cup. They didn't win the league. Okay, let's just be good. If they want to bring out a picture of the FA Cup, fine, go ahead and do it. But it's our trophy, like in celebration, and that's what it's going to be all about. You know, I honestly think that these last couple of games didn't really tell me anything. I didn't really see anything from the coach in terms of how we were going to play, which tells me that, like, this team or this current team and everything like that, Slot has a plan. He wants to work towards a plan. I don't think he really has the main ingredients just yet. But yeah, let's just kind of end it off with the last bit of news, and I think that's the Jeremy Frimpong medical. He's already done a medical at Liverpool. We're hoping today still the news will come out. Hopefully he passes his medical. But one thing it does tell me is that Liverpool is dead serious on securing these transfers as early as possible. Look, the transfer window is going to be open in June already. I think this is for the Club World Cup. You know these FIFA criminals need to make their money somehow. So I think it would be great if Liverpool can get that over the line. I know that they're talking to Milos Kirkias, which would be excellent, because having watched Tsimikas last night, I was like, I hope we don't get to see him a lot next season. But yeah, so Milos Kirkias is that. Then I think, of course, which would be an absolute bonus, depending on what happens with Darwin Núñez. Darwin can go, he's already gone. Honestly, he came on last night and he was just, he's so ass, man. What did we see in him? What did we see in Darwin Núñez? Really, honestly, when we talk about it, when we look at it, like, what? Yeah, okay, fuck. Anyways, Reds, only a few more days till the party kicks off. We're playing at Anfield on Sunday. I think for the most part, everything has already been settled. There's a couple of people who needs to play for Champions League places. but we'll see. Anyways, Reds, this is my match review. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you again for all of you guys who've subscribed. And for those people who just leave comments, I really appreciate it. I really love it. I'm growing this channel, so I'm trying to learn as much as I can. Also, the feedback that I get from you guys a lot of the time is really helpful. So thank you, and please keep it coming. This, like I said to you guys, this is obviously my love letter to all things Liverpool Football Club. I will never talk about other football teams or anything like that. The main priority for me is Red in the Head, which is our team. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. The trophy on Sunday, and then the parade on Monday. Let's get it.